Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live, you're watching News 6 at noon.
Now at noon, the suspect accused of killing 2 people at an apartment complex over the weekend is now behind bars. We'll have the latest on the case. But first, the rainbow crosswalk in front of the Pulse nightclub is painted black for the 3rd time. It is the rainbow that won't fade away despite the state's best efforts to get rid of it. The crosswalk outside Pulse at West Esther and Orange Avenue has had a lot of foot traffic these past several days, ever since FDOT initially removed the rainbow colors. Our Orlando community correspondent Mike Valenti is joining us live now. And Mike, this really has been quite the back and forth.
Yeah, Julie, it really has. And if you're keeping track at home, this is now the 3rd separate time that FDOT has removed the rainbow chalk and paint. And despite the police presence from both Orlando police and state troopers, people continue to come back here every day and pick up the chalk, as you can see. It was last Wednesday night when FDOT workers, with no advance notice to the city of Orlando, first removed the rainbow paint. FDOT later arguing that the rainbow colors, which FDOT first installed in 2017, violated traffic safety device standards. That mirrors similar guidance that has been put out by the federal government, U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. Now, Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer called the actions cruel and callous. And on Thursday, people came out here to express their frustration with the move, and they've been chalking ever since, one day including painting the crosswalk. We did feel some sprinkles. That means that the chalk behind us could fade away, but the sentiment here is that whether it's from Mother Nature or from FDOT, that people are going to continue to come back here and chalk this crosswalk that has been a symbol for the LGBTQ community since the tragedy that happened, of course, in June 2016 when 49 people lost their lives. Now, what is the next step? That is a very good question. We are wondering if the city of Orlando will step in. We're hoping to hear from Mayor Buddy Dyer today. And if FDOT will come back and for a 4th time remove the rainbow chalk and paint over it. Of course, if we learn anything new, we'll bring you the latest on air and online on clickorlando.com. For now, we're live outside Pulse. I'm your Orlando community correspondent, Mike Valenti, News 6.
Mike, thank you. Turning to your weather now, let's take a live look outside. This is our camera in Daytona Beach, and it is looking dark out there. Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos is here. And Candace, we have had an unsettled pattern start the day with a lot of showers early today.
Right, an earlier start to the rain. We're going to continue to see a lot more of it. Again, kick-starting a little earlier. Normally, we start to see rain like this by about 3, 4 o'clock. We're kind of fast-forwarding a bit just to about 1, 2 o'clock this afternoon. You can see some of those heavier downpours down through Oak Hill, Shiloh. Seeing some heavy downpours, not a lot of lightning embedded there. A little further out towards the west, just south of Orange Mountain, down through Four Corners, in and around the attractions there, down through Flamingo, Osceola County, seeing some of the heavier rain. You can see those dark clouds behind Mike in that live shot. That is actually not approaching him just yet. It's actually just to the south there in Osceola County, where we have kind of the strongest of the rain right now. Plenty of lightning from Holopaw, Harmony up through St. Cloud as well. Now, rain chances will stay elevated for another day today. Our coverage up to about 70 to 80%. While areas in and around the St. John's, around Astor, are not seeing rain as of right now, we have racked up upwards of 2 to 3 inches kind of in this area, which is why the National Weather Service has now issued a flood warning that will remain in effect until about Thursday, as they are expecting the rivers there, the St. John River there, to go above that minor flood stage. Again, this is not an extreme status, but of course I wanted to show it to you in case you live around that area. Do expect some of the docks and things like that to possibly start to get a little more submerged in the water. We'll have more details, though, on your hour-by-hour forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Candace, thank you. New developments in a story we brought you as breaking news over the weekend. A man is now facing 2 charges of first-degree murder, accused of killing his girlfriend and her friend. This was the scene at Village Springs Apartments at Lake Orlando on Sunday. According to Orlando police, 31-year-old Elliot DeJesus Marquez shot both of the women before running away from the complex. The women were then taken to the hospital, where they later died. Marquez was arrested not far from the scene. He faces 2 charges of first-degree murder. This afternoon, Agriculture Commissioner Wilton Simpson announced new X-ray technology to scan semi-trucks entering Florida. The machines will be installed at all 23 agricultural stations, with a new location to be added near the Alabama state line on US 231. The state will use X-rays to crack down on illegal immigration and drug trafficking.
If you come through these interstations and you're an illegal or breaking the law, you will be handed over to our local or federal partners. If you are driving a commercial vehicle and you are not proficient in English, we will comply with the President's executive order.
Meanwhile, the state attorney general's office is asking the U.S. Department of Transportation to revoke CDL programs in California and Washington if they find systematic abuse. This comes days after a truck driver accused of being in the U.S. illegally caused a crash that killed 3 people on the Florida Turnpike. Over the weekend, a judge denied bond for 28-year-old Harjinder Singh. Singh faces vehicular homicide and manslaughter charges after a car hit his semi during an illegal U-turn in St. Lucie County. Singh has a commercial driver's license from California, one of 19 states and the District of Columbia that issue licenses regardless of immigration status. Down to South Florida, another lawsuit has been filed for the state's controversial immigration facility dubbed Alligator Alcatraz. For the 4th week, opponents protested outside and held vigils demanding its immediate closure. The new suit, filed on behalf of a detainee hospitalized twice, claims the state lacks legal authority to run the facility. It accuses the state of bypassing federal oversight, hiring unqualified staff, and ignoring detention standards. The suit seeks a temporary restraining order to stop detainees from being placed there. It is perhaps the most flood-prone area in Central Florida. Year after year, residents in Oak Hill have braced for the worst when heavy rain or tropical storms move in. But changes could be coming. Our Volusia County community correspondent Angie Casada is in Oak Hill, where money from the state could help put a stop to these floods.
For years, heavy rain meant flooding for people living and working here on Canal Avenue, especially when it comes to local businesses who say this project can't come soon enough. When storms hit Oak Hill, business owners like Christine and Doug Lathram know what's coming. They own several properties near Canal Avenue and run the country store.
The flooding has always been a constant issue. We own some of the rental units here right on Canal that had flooded extensively. Due to the fact that there is no proper drainage that has been put in the canal road. We reached out to St. John's Water Management a few years back. We reached out to the senator. We reached out to the director of FDOT.
The problem is a low point behind homes and businesses off US 1. With nowhere for water to drain. With $186,000 in state funding, Oak Hill plans to build a gravity drainage system and retention pond to prevent structural flooding.
They was actually the ones that instigated it because they seen us out here and they seen us pumping in the middle of storms, and they're the ones that came to us. We didn't go to them. They came to us, and we did appreciate that. And actually, I couldn't even believe it. I'll believe it when I see it's done. We get it done. I believe we'll get it done. The mayor told me the city's ready to get a plan in motion for relief and looking to ensure that this is the last season where people have to fight the floods. Reporting in Oak Hill, I'm your Volusia County community correspondent, Angie Casada, News 6.
President Trump's crackdown on crime is escalating in Washington, D.C., with some National Guard members now carrying their service weapons. It comes as the president signs a new crime-related executive order this morning. CBS's Natalie Brand has the details from the nation's capital.
I don't think that's going to happen.
President Trump is expanding his anti-crime initiative in Washington, D.C., signing an executive order aimed at ending cashless bail, a policy where the court doesn't require some defendants to pay to get out of jail before trial.
That was when the big crime in this country started.
The order threatens federal funding for D.C. and asks the Attorney General to look into other jurisdictions with cashless bail in place.
We're ending it, but we're starting by ending it in D.C., and that we have the right to do through federalization.
This latest move comes as some National Guard troops deployed in the nation's capital are now armed. A spokesman saying the use of force would be solely in response to an imminent threat of death or serious bodily harm. D.C. community organizers protested this weekend.
Let D.C. run D.C. The president does not need to get involved in this.
Democratic leaders from across the country are sounding the alarm over the president's talk of expanding the operation to other cities, including Chicago.
The president does not have the constitutional or legal authority to federalize the National Guard here in Illinois.
President Trump has also threatened to send national troops to Baltimore and is clashing on social media with Maryland Governor Wes Moore, a military veteran himself.
As someone who actually deployed overseas and served my country in combat, to ask these men and women to do a job that they're not trained for is just deeply disrespectful.
Several Republican governors are supporting the Trump administration effort, with 6 states sending their National Guard troops to D.C. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
A city in Osceola County is looking to become a premier destination for tourists and professionals. Coming up, how a new luxury hotel and convention center will help transform Kissimmee's downtown district. Here's a live look now from our camera in Mount Dora on this Monday. You're watching News 6 at noon. We'll be right back.
Introducing the new $25 million Gold Rush Multiplier Scratch-Off from the Florida Lottery.
Kissimmee will soon have a new 300-room hotel and a convention center. It's an over $180 million project that city leaders believe will change the face of downtown. Our Kissimmee community correspondent Stephanie Rodriguez tells us how some business owners feel about the development.
I'm here in front of the Kissimmee Civic Center, which will be torn down and turned into that hotel and convention center set to be open for business in 2028.
It's a new day in Kissimmee.
I sat down with Mayor Jackie Espinoza a day after the City Commission unanimously approved the project, and her phone was already ringing.
And we already have people calling to see if they could book 3 years from now.
The 300-room luxury hotel will have restaurants, a rooftop pool and bar, retail spaces, and a shuttle service connecting to Kissimmee Gateway Airport and MCO in Orlando. Next to it, a 45,000-square-foot convention center that will be built without any public debt. The agreement with Azure Hotels International guarantees the city an annual lease payment starting at $2.5 million with annual increases, recovering the city's investment within 5 years. Kissimmee will also get 5% of the hotel's profits and free access to meeting spaces.
I think it's going to be a great economical boost for our downtown merchants and storefronts. So I think it's going to be a win-win for everyone.
And some entrepreneurs agree.
So as a new business owner in the area, what do you think about the new hotel and convention center?
I completely love it. I'm in agreement with it. It's going to bring a lot of business to those who want it, and we're ready for it.
It's estimated this will bring in $5 to $6.5 million in annual property taxes, 400 construction jobs, and 150 to 250 permanent hospitality jobs.
I think it's going to change our dynamics, our landscape forever and a day.
The project, once construction begins, is expected to take about 36 months to finish, but again, they're aiming for that 2028 completion date. I'm your Kissimmee community correspondent, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
12:15, getting you back to your forecast as we take a live look out from our Launch Credit Union camera out there at Port Canaveral, seeing a whole lot of blue sky in parts of Brevard County, but we do have a really unsettled weather pattern in place for a lot of us. Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos is here. The showers got cranking early today.
But at least it's keeping temperatures at bay, right? So, you know, it's that summer seesaw. If you get the rain, you don't get the heat, right? And that's exactly what we're dealing with right now. Let's take a live look at what's going on the radar. Our southern zones right now are really lighting up compared to the rest of Central Florida. Don't forget, if you're on the go, you don't have us on TV, you can always have us in your pocket or in your hand. News 6 weather app is a great tool to really not only pinpoint the rain coming to you, but lightning as well. A little further up to Bethune Beach, Oak Hill right there across southern Volusia County. We're tracking a cell that is now shifting offshore. Some of the heavier downpours right now through Bay Lake, Four Corners, down through the Epcot area there, the attractions, Oak Ridge, Flamingo, and the worst of it as of right now still pushing into areas of Osceola County through Harmony and Holopaw. Now, this is what you need to know. Rounds of rain will continue throughout the afternoon, and temperatures, because of how early the rain is starting up, shouldn't get too hot today, back to the near 90-degree marker. So yesterday we stayed in the upper 80s, so kind of a little break from the sweltering heat. Now Wednesday and Thursday we might bring those temperatures up a little bit as rain chances go down, primarily on Wednesday. That's kind of where I'm seeing the driest spot there. But then by the weekend we could be watching a new area of low pressure develop along a cold front that could possibly bring wetter days ahead for your holiday weekend. That's not a guarantee at this point. We're going to iron out and fine-tune those details as we get a better handle on it with our model guidance. But in the meantime, though, people are enjoying the beaches, just hoping everyone to swim by lifeguards out there because we are still looking at a high risk of rip currents. Notice our temperatures, though, at this hour, upper 80s, where most of those locations really haven't seen much rain yet. As we look here at the clouds and rain futurecast, again, picking up some of those scattered showers that we're currently dealing with. But notice how quickly things really start to kind of spread out as the sea breezes really start to kick up. We're still heating things up. There'll be plenty of instability and fuel to fire up those showers and thunderstorms. Some heavy downpours can't be ruled out. Again, we do have a flood warning in effect for parts of the St. Johns River, not only because we're seeing some rain, but all the rain that falls down the St. Johns eventually moves into the Astor area. So again, moving to that minor stage, flood stage throughout the next week. And then come Tuesday afternoon, same story. We're kickstarting the rain early and we'll continue off and on into the afternoon as that cold front continues to try to make its way closer to Central Florida. But now let's check on that hour-by-hour forecast for today.
Sponsored by Strata Air Conditioning and Heating. AC emergency, you ought to call Strata.
Rain chances this afternoon back up to about 70%. But again, we have that cold front just to the north, and that's going to continue to fuel in all that moisture and instability. On Wednesday, this front is expected to make its way just far south enough that we might actually tap into slightly drier air on Wednesday. But really, that's about it. One thing we are watching is here. Notice Saturday and Sunday, there's an area of low pressure that could develop off of a cold front. If that moves into Central Florida, it could be bumping up those rain chances come Sunday and into Labor Day. Quick check on the tropics. We're still watching Tropical Storm Ferdinand, and that is the only area we are watching, which the good news is it's going to stay out to sea, just really impacting those shipping lanes, and that's about it. As we get results here, your full 7-day forecast. Again, you notice that little drier spot on Wednesday. Can't completely rule out the chance for some rain, but it looks like rain chances will surge back towards the end of the week.
Candace, thank you. Coming up, a recall alert you need to know about, what ice cream and soda you should check your kitchen for, and why this comes with a serious health risk. You might want to check your freezer. Bluebell is recalling some of its products due to an allergy risk. The recall affects a limited batch of half-gallon Millennium Crunch ice cream that was mistakenly packaged in chocolate chip cookie dough cartons. The FDA says the cartons have a Millennium Crunch lid, but the ice cream inside contains undeclared almonds, walnuts, and pecans. Anyone allergic to these nuts could have a serious or even life-threatening reaction if they eat it. The ice cream is sold in 16 states, including the Florida Panhandle. Bluebell says no illnesses have been reported so far. Another recall to look out for: more than 20,000 cans of 7-Up are being pulled from shelves. The FDA says it is being recalled over a labeling issue. The agency says cans labeled 0 sugar were found to mistakenly contain a full sugar product. A Birmingham, Alabama-based bottler issued the recall for nearly 2,000 cases of 7-Up 0 sugar tropical soda on July 31st. The notice says the soda was sold in Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. Take a break from those summer reruns and try out the all-new primetime schedule on News 6 Plus. Matt and Ginger have a new take on the day's news on News 6 tonight. That's at 9. Then go in depth as we track the tropics and answer your weather questions with meteorologist Jonathan Kagas at 9:30. Then watch the late news an hour earlier. It's all tonight on News 6 Plus. Download our streaming app for free. Search WKMG in your smart TV's app store. It's also available on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
All right, as you look here at your next 7 days, rain chances, again, we are starting to see a lot more rain starting to build in across the afternoon. So make sure you have that rain gear handy. Your News 6 weather app is also a great tool, alerts you when the rain is approaching you. Same story on Tuesday, maybe a little drier Wednesday, but looking like that rain is going to surge back by the end of the week.
Okay, Candace, thank you. Switch over right now to the News 6 Plus streaming app or click Orlando.com to watch News 6 Extra. Our next newscast is at 4.